Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back again, and we'll keep coming back like a bad penny. That's Tom and Steve here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, and of course the YouTube channel. You know, we were just talking about IT things, information technology for those of you keeping up with things. And I did have a book. There was a time where I thought, man, I'm going to build websites. I got the technology background and everything. I had two books. HTML5 and the big thick one. And
for the radio listeners, Tom's holding his hands 6 miles apart right now. Oh, yeah.
Those things were thick books. And I thought, man, if I could just really grab onto this, it's going to be great. And by the time I learned HTML5, everything had changed.
Yeah.
Everything was Flash.
The way it goes.
I can't even spell HTML. I'm going to.
You want to introduce him, or do you want me to?
No, I want to talk about my own problems. So phone took a security update overnight. You wake up and your phone is.
That'll happen.
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm like, okay, put the password in. Okay, and I was away. It was on the, it was last weekend or where was it? And I'm like, okay. And then every website I went to, it said it wasn't secure.
Oh, interesting.
It was like not. It was sketchy.
Did you ever get an updated phone, or are you still using?
Yes,
okay.
I did. It's I'm up to an iPhone 2. No, it's more than that. And I restarted it and failed, but it was like It was suspicious. I'll introduce Matt. Yes, Matt Major, the founder of your local IT company.
Yes,
formerly that other thing, Growth Mode Technology, which is kind of what they do, but your local IT is CRISPR. So you know that person that, other than your 13-year-old daughter, that can do IT and fix your phone. This is Matt over here. So Matt, how'd you get into the business of being this IT guy?
Well, I've been a nerd forever since I was that 13-year-old. I wasn't a 13-year-old girl, but
you can wear that like a badge.
Hey, it's a whole different show.
Oh God!
I actually started when I was 14 at a local computer shop, and I'd been interested in it for whatever reason. My parents, when I was even younger, when the personal computer was just starting to come about, they bought one when I was very young, and I just sort of got into that. And then when I got to the age where you could get a job.
14 apparently.
Yeah, well, you get the working papers, and you can do weekends in the summer and stuff. And I worked at a local computer shop. Customized Computer Room was the name of it, and learned all kinds of things about the business and everything. And from there, just kind of grew my career from sort of freelance as well as in charge of different organizations and all kinds of things of that nature.
Right. Well, of course, the things have changed. IT has become to mean a lot of different things. First, it was taking things from a mainframe, putting it on the personal computer, and migrating all that. Then learning all about the personal computer and how you can network those together, right? Exactly. And then how does the personal computer link with the phone system and link with a copier in an office building and all that? So you'd kind of do all of that, right?
Yeah, you sort of have to these days. It started when I started out. IT wasn't even a phrase. I just started out. We worked on computers. That was as descriptive as you had to get, right? Yeah. But then we got into this world where it's IT, and exactly everything that you said. All these different devices, all these different pieces suddenly come together. They're on the internet. They're on the same network,
right?
And that's something that we're managed. So to do that job effectively, we have to do that, and we have to evolve. And that's one of the biggest things there is in this business. And unfortunately, one of the downfalls I see of a lot of folks these days, where they are not evolving with the technology, is we've hit a massive jump in speed here in just the last 5 years. Sure. Things are radically different in this industry than they were ever before. Yeah,
but look, beep up, back up, beep beep beep.
Sure,
I don't wanna. Okay, yep. So if I want my things to work.
Sure.
Okay, I don't want to have to be the guy that the IT person thing. Isn't that? Am I unusual? Be quiet, Tom. Am I unusual in that space?
No, not at all. And that's why we exist, right? So that whole thing, it has become so complicated and something that you need to stay up with, that even if it's, you're running a business and maybe you're also interested in tech. I know a lot of, business owners that they're kind of that way. Unless it's your full-time job, you're not going to be able to keep up and properly manage things for yourself. Right. And that's where we've come in. And it used to be a lot of things are what we used to call backwards compatible, right? You could use something sort of new today and that would still work with the old stuff. Right, and people for the longest time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Right.
These days it is broke, whether you think it is or not. Because we have, among other things, a lot of security risks, things of that nature, that old systems, old software, eventually they stop updating it. And then the bad guys don't stop attacking it, though. So it becomes a vulnerability, and we can no longer sort of ignore these things. We have to move forward.
How big of a security component is there in your business?
So it's large and rapidly growing, I guess, is the best way to describe it. The way IT security or cybersecurity used to work was a lot like a specialist at a doctor's, right? You had us that was kind of like your general practitioner. And then if something was wrong, you'd go to, you had a heart problem, well, they'd send you to the cardiologist. Mm-hmm. But, it's kind of like they would only come to play if something went wrong. Same when in IT, there would be our general stuff, but then something serious, you had a breach, we'd bring in the cybersecurity experts. Right. Now we can't do that. Now we got to bring that cardiologist into the general office from day one, and that's what we're trying to do.
So for companies that you work with, and they're primarily companies, right?
Absolutely.
So this isn't, we'll leave my mom out of it, but this isn't my mom. This is people that have networks, and maybe they have 3 or 5 or 10 or 50 or 100 employees. They connect to it. They don't have to hire like a security. A friend of mine does cybersecurity for a Fortune 500 company. That's all he does.
Yes.
So in that respect, you kind of do that too?
Yeah, we're looking, and again, we're rapidly building that. The biggest challenge with that is getting the right kind of talent, like your friend there, to do it, because they're in high demand. But as we are adding that talent and those abilities, that's more of the stuff that's going to be baked right into our kind of core offerings. So we do a lot of that now, and like I said, we're just trying to expand on that. But that's exactly it. It's such a critical thing, from not only the risks to you, but the compliance. Yeah. There's all kinds of laws and regulations, especially if you're in a variety of industries. You've got them coming from 8 different directions, and just to run your business now, you've got to be able to demonstrate a lot of things, not even just check the box, but demonstrate it.
And I would imagine that your company are a team of synergy experts, being able to take all of the technologies and make them work together. People don't realize, or maybe they do, that you got my refrigerator can talk to my stove and talk to my phone and then turn on my lights. So in a company, everything's talking to everything, and there's communication protocols. And when one of those cogs is broken, who do you call?
100%. It's all, like you said, all of these things are now connected. There's things in business, especially in manufacturing, that we call IoT, Internet of Technology. And these are individual little devices that you have. They might be temperature monitors. They might be something that keeps an eye on a machine, whether or not it's running right. And they're all on a network, and they're reporting things and interconnected. And when one goes down, it discovers a machine's down. It sends an email to the management, and it does these different things that can be fully automated or at least alert the right folks at the right time.
Brief and amazing. What's 1 or 2 mistakes that people make that they shouldn't, that causes trouble?
One of the biggest mistakes they make is just sort of ignoring issues that are popping up and go, we'll get to that later, or I don't need to worry about that too much. And, sometimes it's like anything. If you got an issue, jump on it and see if we can't resolve it before it becomes a bigger issue.
Right. What's really quickly, since the holidays are just around the corner, what's the life cycle of a laptop computer?
It's hard to say. A good one you can get a number of years out of, and a lot of times, even ones that are a little older, you can jump some more memory in. You can do something and keep them going a little longer. But in a business, I love to replace them in 3 years. Accountants hate to hear that. They want to go 4 to 5 years. Right, in a business, I would avoid going anything over 5 years.
There you go. Well, that's Matt Major. You need Matt Major and your local IT department. So give him a call. Check out the website. It's local IT. And is it DEPT? Or could they type
Any
in
way you want to
department?
spell it, we'll get you there.
Oh, okay. LocalITdepartment.com. LocalITdepartment.com. You have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. Coming up next, Brian Dumond, the president of Geddes Federal Savings and Loan, right here on the Local Show on 570 WSYR.